Let's get a better understanding now of what's going on in the Victorian town of Morwell, where a toxic fire has been burning for weeks. Take a look at these amazing pictures by Keith Pakenham at the Country Fire Authority. Let's stay on that photograph for a moment. There it goes. Because it gives you a sense of the magnitude of that fire, just how big in scale it is. You can also tell from the colour there just sort of how deeply embedded it is in that slow burning coal. They show the cliffs of burning coal at the Hazelwood open cut mine, which are causing all the smoke. About 200 firefighters have been battling the blaze since it started. And they've had to work short shifts because of the carbon monoxide being released from that fire. The Fire Services Commissioner has now conceded it could take months, not weeks, to extinguish that fire. We know about fires that catch in those coal mines that they can take absolute months to put out. They are very hot and very slow burning fires. Our reporter Jackie Peake is at the CFA headquarters in Melbourne. Jackie, good morning.
Good morning, Virginia. This fire has, we were in Morwell yesterday, crossing into the news breakfast, and it is taking so long to fight, breaking out on February 9th and just proving so hard for firefighters to fight. I'm here with the Fire Services Commissioner, Craig Lapsley. Craig, what is the latest with this fire?
Well, the fire's still a very serious fire. It's still burning. There has been some success. Firefighters have got about 50% of it out. That's been the same now for a couple of days, in the sense that the day before yesterday was another day that had strong winds. It was a warmer day. We saw a grass fire come out of the mine and run towards the power station. So that held us back a bit that day. But day and night shifts are working to get as much water, using foam, wetting agents to reduce the heat. But it's a deep-seated fire, so it's burning back in the coal, the wall of the mine, back into underneath. So it's complex. The success they've had, we've estimated that there's still another 10 to 14 days of work to bring it if everything goes right. So that's the best case scenario. The worst case scenario sees it burn past that, and that's a major concern.
What would be the worst case scenario?
Well, we've worked it through to say there's lots of them, actually, in the sense of where's this take us? How deep seated does it go? So how long is it in there? Does it rely on us to get rain and rain alone to put it out? So where's the rain? There's no rain in the forecast in the short term. That's one. The other thing is the amount of water we're putting on it, and the amount of water we need to take out of the bottom of the mine is a process in its own right. And even that to challenge the integrity of the mine itself. So the wall to collapse, partly collapse. They're all issues that we've got engineers working with us to understand that. That's not an issue today, but certainly as you progress forward, it could potentially be one of those things. So the worst case scenario is long-term, deep-seated fires in coal that's there for some time.
Now, what are you expecting weather conditions to be like next week? I understand there are some concerns there.
Yeah, we move back into what will be very high and severe fire danger across the state, which means we've got low humidity, higher temperatures, and wind speeds increase. So again, like we've experienced this week, they're the days that this fire then increases, or we don't get suppression activity on it. We see either containment, holding it, or it actually increases. So that's a problem to us, without a doubt. And that could be 2 or 3 days next week, not one. So we're moving back into fire danger weather across the state, bushfire weather, and then we've got this fire burning anyway. And we've also got fires still in East Gippsland. So there's still a bit on. There's still a bit of a fire season left. It's not the critical part of summer. We're moving out of that, but it's still a critical time for fires in Victoria.
How much of a strain is this putting on your resources?
Well, it does. We're large resources, but they need to be specialists in the sense that they've got to have breathing apparatus, they've got to be able to operate some of the specialist gear. So it's not every firefighter in Victoria can just wander down to the open cut and be part of the team. So that's one thing. 225 people, firefighters on the shift rotation, but to support that there's a whole heap of other people behind that. So it's a big operation. But you add in what DHS, Red Cross, the local council's doing, Ambulance Victoria, Department of Health. It's a very busy place to get people support. And if you think and take yourself away from the fire at the moment, if you lived in Morwell and they're telling us we're down there, what is it? Smoke, smoke and smoke. The question is, where's it take you in a health sense? So the Chief Health Officer has been critical to be able to explain the short and long-term health issues. EPA to be able to continually monitor and advise not only about smoke but about carbon monoxide and also the ash. And in some parts of Morwell, it's like snow. You know, there's fine ash in backyards, in pools, on tops of houses, in playgrounds, and that's constant. So it's a serious position for all of Morwell and the Greater Latrobe Valley. So it's a very serious issue, and you know the community is right to be frustrated because there isn't answers to some of the questions yet. They can't see that, and we've got to continue to communicate, and give them information so they can get what they want and make decisions about what they want to do. We haven't triggered anything about evacuation, but there's a lot of people saying, why not evacuate us? The triggers aren't there to do that. It's uncomfortable, and the information from EPA and Health is saying it is uncomfortable, people should move in and out, but it's about the safety of the people is critical.
What are the triggers around evacuation?
Carbon monoxide is the key. Carbon monoxide is the key issue. We've seen spikes of it, but it's about dosage. It's about the measurement of carbon monoxide in the atmosphere and the extent of it. And without getting too scientific, 27 parts per million over 8 hours triggers the discussion about evacuation, or 420 parts per million over 10 minutes. So you can see dosage and exposure is the critical part. There's a set of monitors in the town that take you through, they're monitored all the time. They're the drivers of what tell us positioned, validated. We didn't have that when we started this, so the first few days was using mobile devices and single detectors. Now there's a network, well established, well validated. We're quite comfortable with that, but we've still got to be able to communicate it to the community when those triggers are there, and people necessarily don't understand what carbon monoxide is and does. So it's an education process as well as an information and warning process.
And there is some talk of a potential class action. How confident are you that authorities have done everything possible here?
In the emergency management sense, we've put everything in place. I think now we're getting, like any emergency, once it moves past a few days, then it comes about how the community behave. And I say frustration, it's more than frustration, but I'll use that as a word. And from that, you know, we use a pretty strong system of how we do connect. You know, we've got everyone in there, MFP, Survey, SES, VicPol, everyone's in, great teamwork, but yet we haven't got conclusion, and that's one of the frustrating things. How long will this be here? And you can see from us, we've got a best case scenario. Things can change in a matter of hours, and that gets to a worst case scenario. So we're, as you well know, we're very straight with what we say. We'll tell it as it is, and they expect us to do that. So we'll remain with that Morwell community and work with them, and that's critical that we just keep working with the Morwell community.